Let knowledge flow like a river, without any hindrance. Don't make it like a stagnant pool. Welcome back, everyone. I am PS Chatterjee, and you are watching Structural Design Only, a channel with a different vision. This platform is not only for civil and structural engineers but also for the true lovers of the Excel community. Today, we are diving into professional cell formatting in Excel, mastering superscripts and units, and exploring the power of multi-layered conditional formatting. Why do we need multi-layered logic? It's essential when we need to visually define the weight or priority of our text and digits. By applying these techniques, we can transform a standard Excel sheet into a high-end engineering report or any professional dashboard. We often struggle with displaying units like superscript 2, or slopes like 1/3, without breaking our underlying formulas. By the end of this master class, you'll be able to automate your aesthetics using layered logic. Now, if you find value in this video and want to support my exhausting task, go ahead and hit those like, subscribe, share and comments buttons. I know, it's hard work for you. But these clicks are the fuel that keeps this channel running. They are the true expected remuneration for the work put into these technical tutorials. If you'd like to support the creation of more content and receive any Excel sheet I have developed, free of cost, consider making a contribution that fits your budget via the UPI ID in the video description. There is a common belief on YouTube that creators are making a fortune. But let me share a little secret. I've been building this platform since 2020, and my total earnings so far? A very solid 0. So, why am I still here after 5.5 years? It's not just for the money. I am here because I genuinely love watching this community grow. Though I'll be honest, those subscriber numbers have been a bit shy lately. More than anything, I am here for your comments. I'm here to sharpen my own knowledge and share it with you. So, are you ready to do some hard work for me? Don't just watch. Share your own knowledge in the comments. Let's learn from each other. Now, let's get started by looking at the required data tables we need to develop, one by one. Now, let's move to the Excel dashboard. As you can see, the sheet currently appears blank. At the top, in the first row, we have our primary heading, Professional Cell Formatting in Excel, Mastering Superscripts and Units. This is actually a drop-down menu that controls the entire demonstration. In cell D2, you'll notice the label Action 0. I've designed this sheet using advanced conditional formatting. The action number updates automatically whenever I select a new assignment from the drop-down menu. Actually, the sheet isn't empty, the data is simply hidden. By using this technique, I can reveal information step by step, allowing us to focus on the logic without the distraction of manual typing. It keeps our session efficient and clean. Let's select our first assignment, the draftsman's hand, converting digital text to vintage aesthetics. Now, look at column A, cells A5 to A8. We see typical engineering notations, slope equals 1/3, and units like superscript 2, superscript 3, and superscript 4. Column B automatically confirms that these are currently stored as text, not numbers. Writing these as plain text is easy. However, the real challenge begins when we want these to function as dynamic units tagged to our numerical data. In standard Excel cell customization, you cannot simply type a superscript or subscript. Furthermore, if you type 1/3 into a cell, Excel often converts it to a decimal like 0.3333 rather than maintaining that classic fractional look. To see where we are heading, watch what happens when I select our next assignment, Futuristic Data Display, Converting Values to Text Style Aesthetics. The dashboard shifts to Action 2. In column C, under the Style heading, you can see the result. Column D now confirms these are numbers, yet they maintain the aesthetic of professional text. This is our goal, high-end visual formatting without losing mathematical functionality. But before we dive into the how-to, I want to explain the core logic making this possible: automated aesthetics, the power of layered conditional logic. Let's move to action number 3. To understand how this dashboard communicates with us, let's select our next assignment, automated aesthetics, the power of layered conditional logic. We are now at action 3. First, let's clear the existing rules to start fresh. Select cells B5 through B8, then hold the Control key, select cells D5 through D8 and select cells F5 through F8. Go to Conditional Formatting in the ribbon, select Clear Rules, and choose Clear Rules from selected cells. Now, starting with cell B5, we will build our logic layers. Go back to Conditional Formatting and select New Rule. Choose Format Only Cells that contain. In the dialog box, set the first drop-down to specific text and in the adjacent box, type blank, and remember, type it without any quotation marks. Excel handles the text directly here. Set the fill color to a light gray, then click OK. That's our first layer. For the second layer, we repeat the process. New rule, format only cells that contain. Set it to specific text and type text, again, no quotation marks. Choose a yellow fill, then click OK. Our second condition is now superimposed. Finally, for the third layer, follow the same path, but set the specific text to number and the fill color to green. With these 3 steps, we have successfully implemented a layered conditional logic system. Let's test the logic. I'll delete the content in cell A5. Notice how cell B5 turns gray. If I type a letter, it turns yellow. If I type a number, it turns green. To propagate this logic to the rest of our dashboard, we will use the viral technique. Select cell B5, then click the Format Painter in the ribbon. Drag it over cells B6 to B8. While they are still highlighted, click Format Painter once more and apply it to the D5-D8 range. Our environment is now fully reactive. Let's move to the next assignment, the secret to typing professional superscripts. Now, let's move to our next assignment, how to type symbols like superscripts and subscripts. We are now at Action 4. It is important to remember that a superscript is technically a symbol or text character, not a numerical value. So, how do we find them? First, I am selecting cell A2. I will use this cell to store our superscript 2 symbol for easy access. If you look at the heading of this dashboard, I have provided the full navigation path. First, ensure you are on the Insert tab of the Excel ribbon. On the far right, click the symbol icon. A dialog box will appear with 2 tabs, Symbols and Special Characters. Make sure Symbols is selected. Below this, you will see a font drop-down. Choose your preferred font. I'll keep it, as it is. To the right of the font selection, there is a subset drop-down. This is the secret to finding what you need quickly. Scroll through and select Superscripts and Subscripts. From the grid of characters, I'll select the superscript 2. By clicking Insert, we have successfully placed the symbol into cell A2. Following the exact same method, I will now insert superscript 3 into cell B2 and superscript 4 into cell C2. We now have our library of units ready to be used in our automation. Let's move to the next challenge, how to type futuristic text, displaying slope equals 1/3 as a functional number. Now, let's move to our next assignment, how to type futuristic text, displaying slope equals 1/3 as a functional number. We are now at Action 5. Look at the bottom of the table in cell C9, next to Typing Arrangement. Here, I have provided the formatting code we need. It consists of the text slope equals in quotation marks, followed by a space, and then 2 question marks separated by a slash, slope equals, slash. In Excel's custom formatting, these question marks act as placeholders for fractions. Let's set this up. Highlight the text in cell C9, right-click, and select Copy. Next, select cell E5. Right-click on it and choose Format Cells. When the dialog box appears, stay on the Number tab and select the very last category, Custom. In the input box under Type, delete whatever is there and paste the code we just copied from cell C9. Click OK. Presently, cell E5 looks blank. But watch what happens when I type 1/3 and hit Enter. The cell immediately displays, slope equals 1/3. More importantly, look at cell F5. It has turned green, confirming that Excel still recognizes this as a number, not text. This means you can use the cell in your engineering formulas while keeping a professional, vintage draftsman look. Let's move to the next challenge, how to type futuristic text, displaying units like 0.00 mm superscript 2 as a number. Now, let's move to our next assignment, how to type futuristic text, displaying units like 0.00 mm superscript 2 as a number. We are now at action 6. I will demonstrate this in cell E6. Look at the typing arrangement in cell D9. Currently, the code is 0.00 mm. To get our squared symbol, I'll first go to our library in cell A2, highlight the superscript 2, and copy it. Now, back in cell D9, I'll paste that symbol right after mm. Our code now looks like this, 0.00 mm superscript 2. Notice how the 0.00 stays outside the quotes to represent the number, while the space and the unit remain inside as a label. Let's apply it. Copy this code from D9, right-click cell E6, select Format Cells, and under Custom, paste it into the type box. Click OK. The cell is blank, but watch as I type 25.43. It displays perfectly as 25.43 mm superscript 2. Most importantly, cell F6 has turned green, confirming Excel still recognizes this as a number. As a structural engineer, this is a game changer for calculating sectional areas. Next is Action 7, how to type futuristic text, displaying the cube of the unit, 0.00 mm superscript 3, as a number. In cell E7, we now see mm superscript 3. As you know, these are the standard units for the section modulus, Z. Since the method of construction is exactly the same as our previous step, simply swapping the superscript from our library, we can move forward efficiently. Finally, we have Action 8, how to type futuristic text, displaying the biquadratic unit, 0.00 mm, as a number. The unit mm is essential for calculating the moments of inertia, I, of a section. By following the same custom formatting logic, we ensure our dashboard remains both aesthetically professional and mathematically functional. Now that we've mastered units, let's look at how these elements come together for a final, automated report. Well, my technical task for today is officially finished. Now, I hope you've also finished the exhausting work of hitting those like, subscribe, and share buttons. I know it's a tough job. On a more serious note, there's a common belief that YouTube is a gold mine. In reality, I've been building this platform since 2020 and haven't earned a single rupee. So, why am I still here after 5.5 years? It's simple, I love watching this community of engineers grow. I am here for the comments, the shared learning, and the opportunity to sharpen my own knowledge alongside yours. So, are you ready to do some real hard work for me? Don't just watch, share your insights in the comments. Let's learn from each other and build something better together. Thank you for your time. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next episode.